What's up, guys? Welcome back to Erudite Magic. This week we're going to review Andi Gladwin's The Boy Who Cried Magic. If you're getting value out of these reviews, please click the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss any of my future releases. Thanks so much for your support. It really means a lot. So, it's finally here, The Boy Who Cried Magic. What is it? Well, this is Andi Gladwin's last decade of magic that he's created, although many of the things that he talks about span much further than that and go back to his childhood. He talks about that in the beginning. The book weighs in around 251 pages. There are 22 chapters with 5 new techniques as well as 4 different finesses that he gives on existing techniques. Obviously, one of your first questions is, who is this for? First, it's going to be for card magicians. This is 100% cards, so if cards are not your thing, this isn't going to be for you. In the introduction of the book, Andi Gladwin talks about why he released this, and he often asks magicians what their motivation is when they release a book. For him, it was a void of professional caliber walk-around magic as well as stand-up card magic. So what about the production values? You're going to get the book. It's a hardbound book and it comes in a hardbound slipcase, which is something new for me. It's more of a collector's edition thing that I know of. I've never bought a collector's edition, but maybe this counts as my first collector's edition purchase. As always, the production values are top-notch with any Vanishing Inc. release. This book is very red, which isn't a problem, it's just an observation. There are 215 pictures in this book. A few things to note about this for people who are considering buying this. If you fit into the card magic category, you want some good stand-up or walk-around magic, there are a couple things you should know. I mentioned the pictures earlier. There are a lot of beautiful pictures, but a lot of the pictures take up anywhere from a third to half of the page, so at times it feels a little bit like they could be filler. It's already a relatively small book, which is consistent with the latest few releases from Vanishing Inc. There is some duplication of things you may have already seen from Andi before. For example, his Master Push-Off was already released as a DVD and many people have already seen it. He also has taught it in numerous places, including most of his online lectures. Another example of some of the duplication is the Edward Brown Thought of Card Across. Really cool trick, and Andi says it's one of his favorite plots in magic. Don't disagree with you there, Andi. So if you already own the Edward Brown book, there's one fewer item in this book that will be new to you. You may be thinking, whoa, Jeff, that's pretty negative. But I want you to know there's plenty to love about this book. So now that I've told you a few of the things that you should be aware of, I want you to know the things that I loved about the book. If you don't already have the Master Push-Off DVD, I didn't. This is probably the best write-up there is about this, and you can definitely learn it from here. I'm still working on it because it is kind of a knacky move, but I've had a friend who mastered it, and it just looks incredible. All of the routines that are in this book are artfully presented and are masterclasses in misdirection. Andi talks at the beginning about making his routines and laying them out so that those moments come at the right time, and that shines through beautifully. If you're looking for stand-up card magic or some superlative walk-around, the tricks in here are fantastic. As far as the skill level, nothing's outside the intermediate card performer. Some of it's going to take more work than others, see Master Push-Off, but all of it's going to be well within your abilities. Probably one of my favorite parts was the first bit of the book in the introduction where he talked about his philosophy on magic. I enjoyed that and I would have liked to have seen more of that. So all of that said, you're probably wondering, Jeff, do you really recommend this book? I mentioned the smaller size and the pictures and blank pages, but you never really feel like the book is lacking in anything. The question is it worth $50 to you? I certainly don't regret spending $50. I think that it is beautifully presented, and there's a lot of love that's been poured into these routines. In addition, you can tell that they are all solid workers. There's not one dog among the bunch. Even though some of the items in the book have been released before, this is the first time that you're going to see them in print, which is always what I care about, and I know that you, as an erudite, also want to see more items in print. So thank you, Andi, for putting these things into print in this wonderful book. So where does that leave us? Basically, if you don't already have a number of these effects through his At the Table lecture, the Master Push-Off DVD, or even the Edward G. Brown book for the one trick, if you don't already have a number of these that you're doing, this is going to be well worth adding to your shelf, if not just for the natural beauty of it, for the routines. If you like Andi Gladwin creations, particularly ones that are put in print, not necessarily DVD, then I highly recommend picking this up. The value you derive from the purchase is going to be very much related to how much of this you already have seen and do, and how much of it is going to be new for you. Thanks for watching this review. If you have any questions about it, I'm an open book, no pun intended. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, keep reading.